Hello, it's Dr. Kim, and I wanted to share a really profound experience that I had the other day in yoga. We are back in Durango now, had an amazing summer vacation, and the day before I left, I went with one of my best friends to this beautiful yoga class. It was really, really hot yoga, so it's like always calls me to be way more present, so I'm not in this overwhelm of like the intensity. And one of the first things I experienced when I got on my mat and just connected with my body and got present was this really deep level of sadness. It's like this dark, this heaviness of this real deep sadness. And it's a really familiar energy to me, one that I've met so many times. And when it first came up, and I don't really understand what it's about, like I have no idea what this deep sadness is about. It's not like it's linked to a specific experience of loss or grief or anything in the mind, but it's something that's clearing in my system. So as always, I just try to meet the energies that arise, give them space. And this one was like, this bottomless pit of this sadness. And then in the mind, it just kind of came up like, well, what am I so sad about? Why am I so sad? Why is this happening? I shouldn't be sad. I should be happy. And I don't want to feel this. I want to feel good. And it was like, Kim, just be present to what you're experiencing. It's okay to feel this and let it move through. And then the next wave of it was like, but it was like this wrongness, making it wrong. Like, are you just going to be this sad, pathetic person? Shouldn't you just try to, move this or just be happy? Or like all these ways of making it wrong, especially because I don't even know where it's from. And then still just like, it's okay. I can still just be present to it and allow it to be what it is. And took several breaths, and it actually moved really quickly. And but it was funny to see all the stuff that came up in my mind around not wanting to go there and then making it wrong, and then actually making myself wrong. Like, oh my God, there's something really wrong with me that I'm this sad person, as if that's like the truth of who I am. So letting that emotion kind of like define you, like this is who you are. So I didn't fall for that either. So I just kept breathing and presencing and letting it move. And it lifted completely. It just dissolved. But what I noticed through the rest of the class was that there is such a profound ability to experience joy, a profound depth of appreciation. And I know that sadness deepens joy. If you've ever seen the movie, what's it called? It's about the emotions. I'll think of it in a second, is a Disney movie where all of these different emotions are the character. And they're wondering, like, what's with sadness? Why is she so problematic? And why is she always making a problem? And then Joy, who's like the main character who's in charge. Okay, we're going to tackle this problem, and we're going to, put sadness over here in a quarantine, and everything else is okay. But what they realize through the movie is that sadness deepens joy. There's actually a purpose, a deep, beautiful purpose for sadness, and how it adds a whole new layer of depth to our ability to experience joy, light, appreciation. So actually going into our darkness allows us to deepen the lightness and deepen who we truly are. It's such a oxymoron. You think like, no, I got to be positive. I don't want to be negative. And it's actually the truth of our nature that sadness deepens joy, that embracing, not rejecting our darkness is what opens us to more love. So that was a really, really profound experience through the class. And I appreciated it so much. And then I immediately was like, I want to share that message and that insight. But the other thing that came up during that same class, especially because it was super intense and hot and a lot of movement, was how when we're in yoga, or it's a parallel for life, it's a metaphor for life. When we bring our attention, to the pose and the strength and the working muscles and like, I gotta hold it together, it actually creates more tension. When we bring our awareness to the part of our body that is at ease and is completely in release and relaxed, it gives us more strength. to hold the pose or be in the energy of the intensity. It actually brings us into serenity, and it accesses us and resources us to a far greater degree. So I was holding plank pose. If you don't know the plank pose, you're in a push-up position, and just holding your weight. And you kind of hold it for a while, and it can get really fatiguing. But my friend who I was with that day had said to me one time, "How do you do that? That when you hold plank and you just like forever keep holding it and holding it." And I thought of it that day, because now here I am with her the other day. What am I doing? And I realized that that's exactly what I was doing. Is I was presencing, like my face is totally relaxed. I can relax my shoulders a little bit more. I can relax the backs of my legs. Like, there's certain parts of my body that were completely at ease, and I could feel it bringing way more strength and power into the part of my body that was working to hold the pose. So when people in yoga say, find your breath, focus on your breath, especially if you meditate, focus on your breath, that's actually what it's about. Find the ease and the flow in your physical experience, and your breath, because it's always there, even if it's restricted or you're really stressed, you are still breathing. If you try to hold your breath, you'll find you're going to pass out and your body's going to breathe. Your breath is kind of a given if you're alive on the planet. So if you can find the breath, there will be some level of flow that you connect with, and that opens all parts of you to greater resource. So if you're worried about, your health, if you're worried about money, if you're worried about relationship or any situation where it's like, how's this going to work out? If you bring your awareness to the, to the flow, bring your awareness to your breath, or a physical part of that ease. For me, I, brought my awareness to my face, to my neck. I found the relaxation, and I breathed through that. And it really powerfully resourced me in the pose. But that's just a metaphor, because I realized when that happened, that's really a core of what I'm sharing in my work about healing, and about welcoming in, co-creating your life. What where your energy goes, where your attention goes is where your energy flows. So if your attention's on all the hard things, all the challenges, I got to figure it out, it's going to create more along that frequency, more challenges and more stuff to do. My husband Mario is Puerto Rican, and they just had a massive upheaval politically, where there have been corruption, like known corruption on different levels for decades, hundreds of years, but not an ability to really call it out. And now there was this corruption in the government, and it was really clear, and they had the hardcore tangible evidence to say, this is what we're standing against, and literally overthrew the governor to say, we want you to step down. We do not want you to be our governor anymore. And the man said, no, I'm staying. I'm not going anywhere. And over the course of maybe a week or two, that changed, and this governor has stepped down. So he was watching that, and the news was talking about, well, yeah, this is wonderful, and people are celebrating, but hey, the real challenge hasn't even happened yet. Now is the real challenge, because they've got to reform the government, and they don't currently have someone to step into that position. And I said, Mario, it's crazy how the focus always has to go to fear. Okay, we got that done, but it's never enough. When can we just be in our power and let that be enough, realizing that our empowerment creates, realizing that I have come above, because the whole the collective in Puerto Rico has come out of this darkness and suppression to say that's not what we want, and then to be listened to, and it's actually created real change, is something to really celebrate. And if we stay in that celebration instead of well, yeah, we got this win, but now's the hard part, if we stay in the celebration, it will actually create more prosperity. It will actually welcome in a whole new way of running the country, a whole new person to be the leader, a whole new way of doing it. But it's funny how we're in this, consciousness, especially in the news, where it's always got to be about fear. And so it's like, well, here's this wonderful thing, but hey, don't forget about fear. There's still something to fear. Don't let that happen in your body. Find the ease, whether it's your breath, or finding a part of your body that you can relax and connect with ease, so that you shift your focus and allow in that ease. What you focus, where your attention goes, your energy flows. And it is profoundly demonstrated in medicine. It has been profoundly demonstrated scientifically in our hormones and the molecules of our emotions, in our brain chemistry, in our electromagnetic field, and how powerfully that shifts when we come into deeper ease, when we bring our attention on fluidity. So let yourself use that as your power instead of trying to scramble and find, I gotta fix this, I gotta do the resource, I gotta have the right supplement, I gotta do the right diet, I've gotta work harder. That won't get you anywhere with true expansion of health. So let yourself go deeper into that space of ease, welcoming in a deeper part of you to let heaviness, despair, sadness, even fear move, and not succumb to the idea of like, I shouldn't be feeling this. This is a bad thing. It is not a bottomless pit of despair, or for me, a bottomless pit of never-ending sadness, even though it did feel like that. It totally did. But that's just the mind interpreting what you're experiencing rather than being, you choosing to be in the experience itself, willingly and completely. Be in the experience, because that's what allows it to move and dissolve. It was certainly true in that moment for me, and it opened me to so much greater joy. So let's all choose to live like that. And we are the medicine. We invite in the resource. We invite in the possibilities. We invite in whole new potentials that haven't even occurred to us about what we're doing in healthcare and medicine and how the body can heal. That's definitely part of what I'm here to be as a doctor and what I'm here to share about and lead. And I'm excited that we're connected here, and there are people who are ready to receive this and join me. I am at drkimd.com. Definitely like this video and subscribe on YouTube if you'd like to connect further and hear more. We do have a couple things coming up over the next, I'll be announcing the next couple weeks and sending out some emails of how I'll be creating a new group if you'd like to go deeper in the work with me. The Mind Your Body program, we've had that out for some time, but we're going to be running that live together through the next couple of months. So you're welcome to join me there. And I look forward to us all moving into our expansion and ascension into joy and love and true freedom. Lots of love. I'll see you soon.